all that's needed for Celtic to, of course, get their hands back on the Scottish Premiership. But, of course, can they do it this weekend when they take on, is it Hearts? We'll get into it next. Another prediction video today. We look forward to match day number, I don't even know what it is. It's match day number 36. That's right, over in Scotland. And we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe and keep banging today. All things Scottish football related, related, world football related. We got all here, boys. Yes, I'm dressed to impress, of course, as I'm headed to work, as I've nearly forgotten this one. I was trying to get, of course, Dion back, but of course, things are a little bit helter-skelter for me right now. But anyway, if you've new where you've been, smash your subscribe, of course, check out links down below, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Celtic a point away from the title, of course. But what about Rangers? Of course, absolutely fantastic stuff for them, kicking ass and taking names over in Europe. They, of course, will do something that Celtic hasn't done in a long time, potentially get their hands on a European trophy. But that's, of course, a story for another day. What we're going to take a look now back, of course, is the recent results, which are these badges, of course. Last time around then, shall we? Of course, Aberdeen, they did beat Dundee 1-0 in the end, and of course, last time around, Livingston, of course, also beat Hibs 1-0 for them. St Johnstone did lose to St Mirren, of course. Dundee United with a 1-0 win over Motherwell. Hearts, of course, with a 0-0 draw against Ross County, and Celtic against Rangers, all square on that one, of course, which denied Rangers closing the gap, and of course, pretty much kept everybody as they were last time around. This is, of course, the table as it looks. As you can see, 6 points is the difference. Win for Rangers, and of course, maybe a bit of a stinker for Celtic, perhaps. I think if they win tomorrow, it's pretty much theirs. Is that right? So there would be 9 points clear with 9 to spare. So, in fact, it could be goal difference, could be the key. But, of course, Celtic have a monstrous goal difference as it stands. Dundee, of course, they're close to the drop right now. St. John's also a bit of trouble as well. Let's take a look at how you guys got on. Well, here is the league, of course, for the most recent games. There for Deep the Great. Well done to you, sir. And, of course, well done to the patrons as well, kicking ass and taking names. What about, of course, the leaderboard from January onwards? Well, it's actually been James Peace FC are great with 51 points so far, with Shane O'Donnell up there, of course, alongside him. Of course, what about the predictor of the month? We are well into the month of May. Of course, the winner of the predictor of the month is the person or the persons that accumulate the most points of the course for the month of April. So, who is that person? Well, it is Jimmy Watton, of course. Well done to you, sir, kicking ass and taking names. Of course, there he is in that list. I've a mixed bag of tricks on that list. Deep Out the Great's in there a couple of times. 77, just the once. Frosty, he's in there a couple of times. Alex Weller as well. But, of course, who will be there at the end of the campaign? Well, here comes the main leaderboard. Here it is in all its glory, and it is Deep Out the Great and Shane O'Donnell with 107 points on the board so far. Russell Frost is also up there in the mix with, 30? Well, we'll look at 18 points potentially on the horizon, so maybe if you're in the top 5, you're still got an outside shot at the title. Anyway, so this is the next link if you want to get involved, and don't forget we still have the predictor of the month for the month of May to be decided. So let's get into it then, shall we? Kicking off forward with these games, kicking all off with Hibs up against Aberdeen, coming at you at Easter Road. That is Saturday on May the 7th. Now these two sides have played each other 97 times since 1984. 30 wins for Hibs, 43 wins for Aberdeen, and 24 draws, of course. Just 1 win in 6 for Hibs right now, 25% form up against the Aberdeen side, just 1 win in 4 for them, 42% form. That's actually 2 wins the last 6 games for them heading into this. Last time around, of course, over at Easter Road, it was a 1-0 win for Hibs. That's back in December 2021. They also played each other a couple of times over at Prododry, and both Aberdeen won both of those as well. Kicking on forward, though, Aberdeen picking up a 1-0 win over Dundee, and of course, Hibs with a 1-0 loss against Livingston for them last time around. Coming at you, though, the odds for this one, of course, 31 to 20 is your hosts on this one, 11 to 5 is your draw, and 9 to 5 is your away win. That is, of course, Aberdeen. And back, of course, Hibs to get a draw here. I think, again, managerless Hibs looking to get a new manager in, and looking to get a manager in fast, or at least maybe for the next season for sure. But anyway, of course, ending, this match here with a draw. Anyway, kicking off forward is St Mirren up against Dundee. Of course, must win, you think, for Dundee. Played each other 23 times over at St Mirren Park, of course, since the year 2000. 11 wins to St Mirren, 9 wins to Dundee, and 3 draws. Of course, just 1 win in 6 for St Mirren right now. 17% for up against Dundee, though, without a goal in the actually haven't won in the last 11 games. Goodness gracious me. Last round over at St Mirren Park, it was a 1-0 win for Dundee back in October 2020. However, they also played each other a couple of times in Dundee this campaign, and there's been a win and a draw as well. So we've had the complete set there. A St Mirren win, a Dundee win, and a draw as well. Kicking off all the Dundee, coming into on the back of that 1-0 loss against Aberdeen. St Mirren picking up a 1-0 win over the Super Jays last time around. The odds for this one, 11-10 is your host, 9-4 is your draw, and 40-5 is your away win. I'm backing, of course, a home win here. 2-1 win for St Mirren. Dundee are free falling back to the Championship, it looks like. Kicking off all though Livingston up against St Johnstone at the Tony Macaroni Stadium. Now these two sides have played each other 36 times, 2001, 12 wins to Livingston, 17 wins to St Johnstone, and 7 draws, of course. Livingston, though, unbeaten in the last 3 games, 42% form up against the St Johnstone side. 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. That's 50% form for them heading into this match. Of course, last time around, though, over at the Tony Macaroni Stadium was a 2-1 win for St Johnstone. Of course, the 1-0 win was last time around back in April. It was over at McDermott Park. They also played each other way back in October. It was a 3-0 win for Livingston as well. So Livingston have just won once the last 3. Of course, Super Jays back-to-back wins, back-to-back wins for them. Of course, Super Jays coming to this on the back of that loss against St Mirren. Livingston with a 1-0 win over Hibs. The odds, though, for this one, 65 is your Livingston, 23-10 is your draw, and 23-10 is your away win. That is the Super Jays. 1-0 win for the hosts here, Tony Macaroni Stadium, and that's Livingston for the W. Next, of course, we have Ross County. This is, of course, in the top half of the table, up against Motherwell. Again, taking place on the 7th of May. Now, these two sides have played 35 times in 2012. 12 wins for Ross County, 17 wins for Motherwell, and 6 draws, of course. Ross County, though, 50% form for them. 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2 for them. Of course, Motherwell just 1 win and 6. 25% form for them heading into this match. Last time around, of course, over in Ross County, it was a 3-1 win for Ross County. That's back in January 2022. They also played each other a couple of times at Fir Park, and of course, way back in match number 7, it was a 2-1 win for Motherwell. And of course, most recently, in March, it was a 1-0 win for Ross County at Motherwell as well. Ross County coming to this on the back of back-to-back games without a goal for them. Of course, Motherwell are coming to this on the back of that loss against Dundee United. The odds for this one, though, Ross County at 13-10 for the victory, 23-10 is your draw, 11-5 is your away win. That's, of course, Motherwell. 2-0 win for me for Ross County to take it to the house. Into the Power 2 now, of course, all eyes on these games. Rangers up against Dundee United on Sunday, May the 8th. It could all be over, really, before this game if Celtic were to win against the difficult Hearts. Played the same 5 times in 1994, 45 wins for Rangers, 60 wins for Dundee United, and 14 draws. Just 1 defeat, though, in the past 6 for Rangers, 75% form for them. Up against the Dundee United side, of course, 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2. That's 50% form for them heading into this match as well. Of course, last time around over at Ibrox, it was a 1-0 win for Rangers back in December 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, at Tannadice was a 1-0 win for Dundee United way back in August. Of course, they also played each other in match number 27 back in the 20th of the 2nd, 2022. It was a 1-1 draw as well. Dundee United coming into this on the back of that 1-0 win over Motherwell. Of course, Rangers with that 3-1 win over Leipzig, of course, to set them up with the Europa League final. The odds, though, for this one, 11-2 on is your Rangers, 13-2 is your, and 12-1 is your long shots. Back in, of course, Rangers here, but the 3-1 for them. And, of course, we'll close the gap potentially, but, of course, this all goes down to Celtic up against Hearts, of course, over at Celtic Park. Now, these two sides have played each other 100 times since 1997. 71 wins for Celtic, 17 wins for Hearts, and 12 draws, of course. Celtic, though, just 1 defeat past 6, 75% form for them. Actually, just 1 win in 3, if you want to look at it that way. Up against the Hearts side, unbeaten in the last 6 games, 83% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around over at Celtic Park, it was a 1-0 win for Celtic back in December 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, a 2-1 win for Hearts in Heart, 2-1 win for Celtic in Heart of Midlothian back in January. Of course, they also played on match day number 1. It was a 2-1 win for Hearts. I think Postelegro was not in charge at that time, or he might have been. Meanwhile, League Cup, of course, they also played each other there. 3-2 win for Celtic back in August. So they played each other 4 times already this season. This will be the 5th. Of course, Hearts, they picked up a 0-0 draw against Ross County. Rangers did draw with Celtic last time around. The odds for this one, though, we got to 7-2 on is your Celtic, 8-92 is your draw, and 10-1 is your long shots. That's Hearts. Back in, of course, the 3-0 for Celtic, which, of course, I think will guarantee the title to go back to the green half of Glasgow once again. But that is it, of course. But it could still be a good year for Rangers, of course, in the Scottish Cup final. Of course, Europa final now. And we could get their hands on some more silverware as well. But be sure to get your picks in using that link. Also, check the links down below, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, also Patreon. But until then, boys, I got to get out of it. Got to get to work. But until then, boys, we're done right now.